Everyone to the first Black Ops 4 video that we're going to be doing this year. It's pretty exciting. We're already here at this point. And I want to first of all apologise at the start of this video before we get into the details. I am sorry that this video here is coming out basically 2 days late than it should have actually have come out. Unfortunately, I've had to send off the PC, which I now have got back, as you know, as I'm now recording this video. But I had to send it off to get fixed as the graphics card in it was completely broken to the point where the PC was no longer usable. And unfortunately, this took a little while to fix. And well, let's just say that this poster that Treyarch decided to reveal decided to come out when I didn't have the PC. So as a result of not having the PC, I had no way to record this, which was very frustrating. Luckily, I've managed to get the PC back in time. Yeah, it's 2 days late, but still, I have it back, and now I can happily record this video and talk about this, which is great. So I am sorry that this is 2 days late, and I hope you guys will, forgive me in some ways for that. There's not a lot I could do about it. Anyway, now we have the chance to do this. So I will admit, this video is going to be me talking about my theories behind this poster that we have here, and I am well aware at this point that there has been a lot of different videos that have come out now about this poster in the community, and this is great to see, by the way. The community dived massively into this poster as soon as it came out, and it's amazing to see that. I'm glad to see that the community for zombies in Treyarch's perspective is not dead in any shape or form. It is amazing to see the amount of life and effort that has gone into decoding this thing, and also just all the theories behind it. It's absolutely brilliant, and I'm glad that we've got this whole trend back again. It's exciting stuff. Anyway, I am well aware of all the different theories that have gone around, and I'm not going to, dive into all of them because they're quite long, some of them, and they're very interesting theories. And in some ways, I actually think that some of them are completely right and true. I mean, Mr. Waffle Waffles, if you haven't seen his most recent video in regards to this, and also props to him for actually sitting down and having a whole live stream with a load of other people from the community, so props to them as well, all just diving into this thing and trying to decode it and figuring out everything around the poster and what it means and trying to piece bits together, and they did a great job, so props to everyone in that regard for doing that. And yeah, Mr. Waffle Waffles came out with an extremely interesting video, and I found it absolutely intriguing and just incredible, really. Anyway, he came out with a video about all this stuff inside the image that you see in front of us, everything basically, and he breaks it down very well, as he always does with these sort of things. And yeah, well, honestly, if you want to hear all of his theories and that, then go and check out his video. It's actually very, very incredible. Seriously, go and check it out. He has some great theories behind it. Glitching Queen also has had some pretty interesting theories behind this picture. There have been loads of different theories behind this picture, and it's awesome. And everyone has their own different opinions and things, so that's great. And yeah, if you want to go and see what their theories are, then go and check them out. I might even put in the description links to their channel, so you guys can go and look at those videos for yourselves. But anyway, this video is going to be a bit of a backtrack for you guys here, because I kind of wanted to do, obviously, a video on the day of the release, which was me basically diving into this poster without knowing anything about it, and my theories behind it all and everything. Obviously, it's kind of gone into this point where everyone's already dived into this thing and done all sorts of information in regards to it, so a lot of my theories that I'm going to come up with here and say are probably incorrect, and they may all be wrong for all I know, but hey, I want to get them out of there. So this is just my point of view of things. Obviously, we have had breakdowns on that. I'm not going to go through all that because it's much better that you hear it from the people that have broken it down, and of course that's Mr. Waffle Waffles and other people in the YouTube community as well as the community itself. So if you want to go through all that stuff, then please do check them out, and they've done a great job, so I'm not going to steal any of their limelight for that. Like, they did it, they deserve the credit for it. Anyway, so that's where the cipher point comes in. So obviously on this poster we've got loads of interesting little little symbols around the place, which are obviously ciphers, and I know that Treyarch love their ciphers. I must confess that I am not exactly the biggest fan of them, and yeah, well, I'm not great at solving them, let's put it that way. The buried one was sort of enough for me back in the days. I'm not sure I really want to do another one ever again, really. Anyway, I do find it interesting when people break down how they solve the ciphers and that, though. It's very interesting, and it's a good watch whenever you get to see people do that, or a good read if they've written it up. It's great. So, yeah, I like to basically see how people solve them rather than solve them myself, because I just find it a bit too complicated. But that's just me. Anyway, everyone's sort of discovered that this is, I think I'm saying this right, alchemy? I think that's right. Which is basically something from the medieval, I think, era or something like that. Basically, it's one of those kind of language things that scientists or something use. Like I said, I don't really go into a huge amount of detail here because it's complicated stuff, and I know that everyone else has done it already. Anyhow, they have what basically all these different symbols mean on there, and there's a couple of things like what all these different symbols mean. And yeah, well, I did want to mention briefly here about the symbols that it almost seems like Treyarch are trying to tease with what these symbols are, the replacement for gobble gums or liquid divinium. So I think that we're going to see some form of gobble gum system inside Black Ops 4. Yeah, I know people are probably going to be unhappy about that, fair enough. Look, they're going to want to make microtransaction money in some shape or form. It's going to happen. Okay, honestly, if they want to do it, they're going to do it. So that's the way it is. And I know Treyarch like to change things up and do different things, but I know that Activision will want to have some form of microtransaction inside zombies somewhere. So it's going to exist. But this, I feel, could be the replacement for possibly either Liquid Divinium or Gums in general. Probably more the Liquid Divinium point of view, which will be replaced by this new alchemy sort of stuff, or whatever it's called. Anyway, that sort of stuff. So, you know, I feel like that's probably the route they're going down here, and that's why these symbols are on the screen. And yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe that's the route they're going down. Possibly they're just trying to tease specific things for the map that's going to be on disc, I presume. That's what this poster is trying to reveal, more than likely. Yeah, well, that's really that. Now, the bottom bit, which was always interesting, and I kind of noticed this when I saw it as well, the fact that it says mankind's reckoning will be at salvation. I kind of had a look at sort of the two words and that, which obviously the rest of the community has looked at too, which is reckoning and salvation, in particular salvation, because of the fact that the last DLC, or well, the last main DLC, if you like, of Black Ops 3 was of course Salvation, and that was Revelations. And it's interesting seeing how we got that at the bottom, because to me, seeing that is almost like Treyarch trying to say they are continuing the story from Revelations. And yeah, I could kind of see why they would do that, and yeah, it makes sense. Why wouldn't they? However, it's an interesting one whether they're going to go to basically where all the Origins characters or premise were sent at the end of Revelations, and we're going to play from there in that map area or whatever, or whether we're going to be looking at something else in a different form for, you know, Revelations is ending and carrying on in a different way. And yeah, it's interesting. I will be curious to see what they do there. Well, that's just what I think here. I know other people in the community have done some more breaking down sort of stuff as well for it. Now, I want to take a look at the person in this image. Or I say person, it's more like a zombie person. Now, when I first saw this image, I thought to myself, that's got to be Egypt, right? They've got to be teasing some form of Egyptian zombie map. You know, I'm still kind of thinking that that could be a possibility. I mean, everyone has pretty much wanted an Egyptian zombie map for a very long time. It's possible, but at the same time, I don't know. Let's put it this way: the whole idea here, where we got like almost it looks, and this is what gives the Egyptian vibe in particular, to a mummified looking hand of a corpse as well, and you've got this sort of robe, which, to be fair, in my opinion, that kind of robe really gives me vibes to a form of Egyptian like theme, and obviously the mummified hand. Um, and also the mask. Now, obviously, Egyptians, some Egyptians, not all, did wear masks, and this could have been the mask of a pharaoh or something, for example, that they put on the corpse of the pharaoh before they died. And then they, buried the pharaoh with the mask or whatever. And this could be the pharaoh being resurrected, as you can see here, by 115, and taking off the mask to reveal the, sort of destroyed, rotten-looking version of what they look like as a zombie, basically. Now, that was one theory I had for this. Another theory I had was the fact that this could be somebody else in regards to. We all know about the different controllers of the zombies and things like that. So, we've had Richtofen and we've had Samantha, who were quite small in regards to like how powerful they really were. As we all know with Black Ops 3, we were introduced to the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty, who are the ultimate powers basically behind the whole of pretty much zombies, it almost seems. And they're the ultimate powers behind it all, with the Shadow Man obviously being the most evil and the one that took over Ultimus Richtofen in his mind anyway, and stuff like that. Yeah, again, I know we got rid of the Shadow Man, we killed him basically, and so on in Revelations. However, there's a couple of things I want to say here, and I don't know if any of them are going to be right. They probably won't be, but you never know. It's always good to speculate. um, I'm feeling like this could be another form, possibly, of the Shadow Man or Dr. Monty. Like a different version of themselves, because as you all know in the story, we've got obviously the Origins crew, the Premise crew, if you want to call them that. And then we've got the other selves, which is the Ultimus crew, the 1.0s, if you want to call them that as well. We've got different versions there. I'm wondering if possibly that is the same for the Shadow Man. Maybe not so much Dr. Monty, but the Shadow Man, I'm wondering if there are different versions of him. I know he's meant to be like the ultimate power and all that, but I'm still wondering if there's a different version of him in a different universe or something. I'm curious, and maybe this is what the Shadow Man looks like in that different universe. It's only a possibility. It's probably unlikely, but it's possible. Another theory I had was that possibly this is Dr. Monty. Now, we all know that Dr. Monty seemed like the good guy at points throughout Black Ops 3's Gorod Krovi and also Revelations, but he also had a rather evil, dark side to him inside Revelations in particular. And yeah, it just kind of came across like he was the evil guy, really. Now, we all know that, of course, the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty were once friends. They were once basically one, almost. And then they split apart and became very different, well, obviously, people. Or powerful people, if you like. And they were both evil in some shape or form, really. And, of course, you had the Shadow Man being a corrupt, evil person that wanted to take over dimensions for his race and so on. And then you had Dr. Monty, who wanted to change time and things in a specific way. And what you sort of see Dr. Monty trying to do seemed like a good thing. It came across as quite good. but it also came across as quite ivy, if you like, a bit evil. Um, and yeah, it makes me wonder, especially also, and I know that the Shadow Man does try and trick us throughout pretty much the whole of Black Ops 3, but he came across at one point saying that Dr. Monty is a manipulative person and that he is known as the devil or Lucifer or many other names like that. And as we all know, the devil is evil. He's a bad person. So if Dr. Monty is indeed the devil and that, then it almost seems like Dr. Monty would be trying to scheme his way here into doing something evil, but try and possibly make it look like he's doing good. And that's what I kind of got as a vibe at the end of Black Ops 3's Revelations, when he tried to fade them away from time, but in the end ended up teleporting them somewhere else. But it came across like he was being evil there, and just a lot of the things he did were quite sort of evil and ivy. But anyway, back to the point here. I'm wondering if this person here in this screenshot is Dr. Monty's true form. I'm wondering if Dr. Monty here, possibly in Black Ops 4 later on, or possibly in the map on disc, is going to reveal himself as who he really is, as an evil person, as the devil. And that mask that is being taken off is almost like trying to indicate that that is, the Dr. Monty that we knew from Black Ops 3. And instead, the one behind that mask is now the evil, corrupting sort of person that he is. And I'm wondering if the fact that we killed the Shadow Man, great, that's one evil out of the way. Now I'm wondering if the new evil, i.e. Dr. Monty, is really going to show himself. And we're really going to see how evil Dr. Monty truly is in Black Ops 4. I'm wondering if that's what we're going to see. I don't know if we will, but it's possible. And I'm wondering if that's the vibe that others might be getting from this. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. But hey, I'd like to speculate in that regard. It's possible. I kind of want to see them make Dr. Monty evil. It would be good. We'll just find out eventually, I'm sure. Yeah, well, that's really what I've got mainly for my theories here. However, this could be an entirely new person that we may see within the on-disc map, or maybe throughout the whole entire season of maps as the main evil enemy that we don't even know yet. They could be a completely unknown person at this point, or, true ancient power or whatever. Yeah, there's all sorts of possibilities that we could be seeing here. And I'm just curious to see what happens. There's a lot of things that play on your mind here. Anyhow, I don't want to make this video too long. And I do actually want to touch on something before I pretty much wrap this up. And that is what Glitching Queen said. And Glitching Queen actually sort of saying that this could possibly be a female antagonist. The main enemy of Black Ops or storyline that will go up against the whole time is a female. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past that. It would be interesting to see in some ways. After all, I mean, pretty much all of the enemies that we've had, like the main enemies in zombies, have basically been male, except for we go back to, well, all the way back to like World at War in some ways, and also Black Ops 1. We had Samantha, right? Now, in theory, you could say Samantha is a good person, she's a good person inside, some of Black Ops 2 and also Black Ops 3. She's not a bad person at all, fine. But if you go back to, of course, Black Ops 1 and World at War, I'm including World at War because of the reason she Nonuma, she is quite evil in some ways. She's obviously trying to kill everyone by sending all zombies to kill them all. She manipulates people like Yuri, who are in the Ascension group, and tries to get them to do things that they shouldn't. She's actually quite an evil person throughout that time. Bear in mind, she was corrupted at that point, of course. But we've seen an evil female antagonist before. I feel like we could happily see another one again. Why wouldn't we? I mean, it's not a bad idea. So what Glitching Queen said there about this possibly being a female antagonist, it's very possible that this could be a female antagonist. And hell, it'd be interesting to see something like that come back. I don't know whether it will be or not. We'll have to see. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to kind of briefly go over here, well, two things actually. One is the fact that the body that we see looks like it's decaying, but it's not completely decayed to a point where this person is a complete zombie. This person still looks to me like they're semi-human. They don't look like they're going to go and quickly eat someone, in my point of view. They look like they're still semi-human trying to, well, I presume do bad things. I'm wondering if this person has something a bit more to them than we expect. Maybe they have been infected by 115 yet, but maybe they have some way of overcoming the effect of 115 completely over them. Another thing I wanted to go over is this possibly an effect, and I know this is a long stretch here, is this possibly an effect of, if we go back to Black Ops 2, when people were eating the flesh, when people ate the flesh of zombies, like Samuel Stuhlinger. Obviously, he started to hear a bit of Richthofen's, voice in his head. But I'm wondering if someone ate the flesh of a zombie enough, bear in mind that they're eating 115, that it eventually decays them a bit in some shape or form. And I'm wondering if this person that we're seeing in this poster here is actually someone that's eaten too much zombie flesh. So as a result, the 115 that they are pretty much digesting from the human flesh, or the zombie flesh even, is turning them into a zombie, basically, but they're not completely a zombie yet. It would be very interesting if that was actually the case, and it would be an awesome little nod back to Black Ops 2 there. I kind of want that to come true. But it's a possibility. I almost want to see if the community will agree with that or not. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. And I haven't seen anybody else come up with that theory yet, so I want to know what people think. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've obviously got this symbol on the mask, and if we go back to obviously the previous poster that we had in Black Ops 3, where we had the picture of the guy standing there with a card and all that poster, although we didn't know it at the time, was basically pointing to Shadows of Evil, which is why everyone thinks that this poster here is pointing towards whatever the on-disc map is going to be called, which is more than likely true. I'm wondering if it's going a bit bigger though this time, this poster, but you never know. Anyway, that poster had a zombie basically holding a card, and that card had a symbol on it, and that symbol, believe it or not, was actually the symbol for basically when you use the curse in Shadows of Evil, when you become the sort of squid-like creature and then become human again, you have that little curse symbol on your HUD on the screen, and that was what that was. Now this mask here has a symbol on it. I'm wondering if that symbol is going to be important for some shape or form in regards to possibly something that we'll do within the map. I don't know, maybe it's just important to a boss or something like that, but I feel like it's going to be something that we're going to be doing within the map. By looking at that symbol, it just kind of brings that sort of, I don't know, idea to me that we're going to be doing something that's going to relate to that symbol. I'm not sure what yet, but something I feel like is coming along the way. But I wanted to briefly go over that there, because I felt like that was important. I'm very intrigued to see what comes from Black Ops 4 now in regards to the zombie teasers that are coming up. Of course, we got the community reveal event on May the 17th, which is very close, around the corner. I will be definitely giving you guys videos on that day, and keeping you up to date with everything. Not just zombies related on that day. I will also talk about multiplayer and campaign if they have any campaign in the game, or battle royale, whatever. I will talk about all of that on that day. As we hear legitimate information coming out and that, so I will be talking about that. Yeah, and of course we're supposed to be seeing a big event of zombies at E3 from Treyarch themselves, which is meant to be a history. And if you don't remember last time in Black Ops 3, just before it came out, there was a little event by Treyarch at the DICE Summit, which basically was them talking about the history of zombies, and there were lots of little hints and teasers to literally everything zombie related in Black Ops 3. There is loads of little hints to it. There is hints to a Moon remake, which obviously happened. There is the hints to the giant loading screen, which obviously came to be. There's all sorts of little hints in there, and you know, they're doing it again this year at E3. We're going to see some pretty big hints, I think. And in particular this year, I want to keep an eye out for them possibly adding in some screenshots of remakes for the maps that obviously haven't been remade yet. And I still strongly feel, and it would make sense from a marketing point of view, that Zombie Chronicles 2, or whatever it will be called, will happen. I expect that we're going to see it. And I really don't doubt it at this point. I feel like we're going to see Zombie Chronicles 2, and I'm sure they're going to hint something in that. They must do. I think we're going to see something in there in regards to those remakes. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled in regards to that event, see those. And of course, that is on June the 12th, I believe. That's the 12th. Yeah, I think so, the 12th. So I'll be obviously bringing you videos in regards to that too. We're also probably going to see some gameplay trailer, intro, or something like that in regards to, well, Black Ops 4's main zombie map. Although the last time, actually, what we saw with Black Ops 3 was Shadows of Evil, which was, of course, the on-disc map of Black Ops 3. But we also saw the Giant, which was, of course, the bonus map that you could get with Black Ops 3. So I'm wondering if they're going to do that again this time, where we'll see the on-disc map in some shape or form, but we may also see the bonus map that you can get with the game, which I presume will probably be Mob of the Dead, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyhow, I think I'm going to end this video here before it gets too long. I just wanted to go briefly over my just my ideas of what this poster was trying to show. Of course, maybe every bit of it that I've said will be wrong. It may come true, it may not. Well, I don't know. Anyway, this video was, like I said, meant to be recorded 2 days ago, so you've got to bear that in mind. It was a bit of a thing that I wanted to do back then, but now it's slightly changed a bit. But you know, I still wanted to get my opinions out. I still feel like they matter in some shape or form. But anyhow, I just want to leave it there, really. Like I said, if you want to see more information about this poster, like what people are linking it to and what all these symbols mean and so on, then Glitching Queen and Mr. Waffle Waffles and other channels out there have been breaking them down, and that also the community has been as well. So go and look at them. I will probably link Mr. Waffle Waffle and also Glitching Queen's videos down in the description, because I think they're quite interesting, and they do break this down very well. So I think you guys will enjoy them and find them quite useful. But that's that, really. And the last thing I wanted to say before I completely end this and go into an outro, I know some people asked me about this, which was, are you going to cover everything related to Black Ops 4's, you know, zombie leaks and that, as well as possibly the remakes of Modern Warfare 2 and possibly World at War and stuff like that? Are you going to cover everything? Right, I'm going to get this across right now. I'm going to cover what is revealed by the devs themselves. I will not cover anything that is not shown by the devs themselves. I may talk about suspicions or things that I have in regards to the leaked information that's come from certain supposed sources and things like that, because I do those sort of things. I did a video of that not too long ago now, because I like to make sure that people in the community understand that you should take all that information with a grain of salt and not believe it as a definite, because it's not always true, and it's already come out in some areas that these things are not true. And that sort of stuff, where you get possible leaks of things that have come from insiders and that, I will not report on that. I won't. Because I don't really have any truth behind it. There is no proper truth behind it. You can't confirm it. You could take it as a grain of salt, but that's about it. You can't confirm it. And that's the sort of thing that I don't really want to get involved in and just do videos on at all. I mean, if a lot of the community speculates on that sort of thing, then I might possibly want to speculate a little bit myself, but I will not go legitimately over the information. It will just be me speculating about it. And of course, I will name it a speculation video. It will not be legitimate information or anything. It will just be what I think. But in regards to that sort of stuff, I'm not going to go anywhere near it. Things that come out from the devs though, so for example this poster, which came from Treyarch themselves, yes, I will go over it because it's come from them. It is legitimate information. It's real, okay? It's actually real. So yes, I will go over it because there's no reason not to. But other things, like I said, I will possibly speculate on, but that'll be about it. And that's just the way I'm going to leave it. So there you go. That answers everyone's questions in regards to that. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it here now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about the whole, in particular, theory about the flesh and the people eating flesh, and whether this guy may be related to that. Let me know what you think about that. I thought it was quite an interesting possibility. It's a possibility. I thought it was interesting. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. Pass it on to other people in the community if you wish. I'm more than happy for you to do that. By all means, just say who it came from, please. That would be nice. And yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. Again, I am so sorry this is 2 days late. Hopefully this will not happen again in the future. And the PC will be all good. Anyhow, yeah, and if you guys want to see any of my actual zombies videos, such as like my Easter egg guides and stuff like that, I will also leave those in the description of the video, so you guys can go and check those out easily and look at those all you like. And yeah, well, I think we're going to leave it here, really. So I will see you in the next piece of news of Black Ops 4. Unless there's something really big that comes out for this poster here from the community, then I probably won't be covering this picture again. But if there is something big that comes out, then I'll cover it. But for now, I have no reason to really come back to it at the moment. So yeah, I'll probably come back with May the 17th reveal, or if there is something before then. And of course, when the RPK, I thought I mentioned this, comes out inside Black Ops 3 Zombies, I'll get some gameplay of that up for you guys as well, because that'd be interesting to see what that's like back in Zombies again. I love that thing. Anyway, we'll see you guys then, so enjoy your day, guys. See you then.